I'm gonna make this.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the Vintage House Show Spotlight. I'm your host, DJ Momami. Today we are sitting down with Chicago born and raised, Indianapolis based, all around the country. You feel me, Psylo Soundz. So please, wherever you are, give a warm round of applause. Welcome to Psylo Soundz. How are you feeling today?
I feel I feel very relaxed. I am now entering just a phase of rest after
Yeah.
everything that I've been doing for the last 3 months.
Okay.
Uh, so this is a period of rest for me.
Yeah, I love that. Period of resting is so important, especially as creatives and DJs. People underestimate the value of rest for us. But I feel like for me, rest is when I get my ideas, my event ideas, sound. I get to listen to music in a way that's not just like prepping for a gig. I get to just be present with the music, with myself. So
Yes.
that's important.
Yes, that's exactly how I'm feeling. I've literally just taken my calendar and said to hell with it. I
That part.
Everything that was on there, I'm the next 2 weeks I am checked out. Checked
Yes,
out.
I love that. I saw you're taking a social media break. What inspired that?
um I do a lot of tarot readings for myself. I do a lot of
Okay.
readings. But just receiving just certain messages from the universe, certain downloads that have all been saying like you've done enough work. You have done everything that you need to do to be recognized for what you do. So use this moment to take it all in, to be grateful for it, to, just bask in the success that you've had doing
Hmm.
it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna actually listen this time because I'm
Okay.
tired. I'm tired.
I feel that. And especially with social media, you can accomplish so many of your personal goals. And then you look around and you see what others are doing and how many people are sharing or attending their things. And it can really plant some seeds of doubt in your mind. Even when you're like, I love what I'm doing. I love my supporters, everything. Social media has a way of making you feel like somehow you're still not doing enough.
Yes, yes. And I feel like that's another major contribution as to why I am going to duck off for a little bit because I see my peers and I see them, getting booked for festivals and like DJing alongside greats and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, I need to be doing more. But then that takes away from my gratitude, my appreciation for everything that I have done and everything that I have accomplished, even in such a short amount of time doing this. So I told myself, I was like, listen, we gonna have to take a break this time. Like there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Like my health was starting to come into play. So at that point, once my health becomes a part of
Look,
the equation, y'all
mm,
got it. Y'all got it. I'm backing down.
okay. And I always say there will always be events, there will always be parties, there will always be things, but we only get one body. So once your body starts to kind of tweak on you, shut down, get sick, get tired, that's when it's like, okay, let me take a step back
You're like,
because,
you know what? You right. You right.
yep.
You right.
hmm And we work in nightlife. Our sleep schedule is crazy. Our eating schedule is different. It's a lot to put on your body. It's a lot of
It
stress.
is. I laughed when you said our eating schedules because I was making food at like 11:30 at night one night, and my dad, he usually goes to bed around that time, so he peeks in the kitchen and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, eating. And he was like, why are you eating so late? I was like, I don't know, my body just
You're like, I'm
isn't used to
hungry right now.
eating.
I don't know.
I don't know. So I think that's another thing that I'm looking forward to in my little hiatus is just like resetting my body, getting my vitamins back into my body,
Hmm.
regulating some type of sleep pattern because I know once I get off of this break, it's going to go right back to what it was, but just giving Just giving myself a break, honestly, because I have been going pretty damn
Yeah.
hard. So let me
Well, I'm excited for you to be on this break. I know kind of
just.
outside of this, we talked about some of the work you've been putting in, some of the planning, the prepping. I want to go back to kind of the origin story of Psylo Sound. So what got you into DJing?
Um, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Okay.
So my dad is Hugo H, which you know him or you don't, but he is a pioneer of Chicago house music, alongside Mike Dunn, who is my one of my godfathers, Farley. So that's pretty much
Grew up
I was
surrounded
born.
by
I was born into this.
it.
My
Right.
stepmom being one of the women pioneers of house music alongside Lori Branch.
Hmm.
So honestly, it was only a matter of time to
Mhm.
me, and people from high school and up had been saying like, yo, you need to DJ, you need to DJ, like you'd be such a good DJ. My best friend telling me this. So one morning I just woke up, and actually it wasn't in the morning, no. I was up until 3 in the morning, and I was on, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Zounds, Z Zounds, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I purchased my first board, my SV3, and
Shout
I
out
was
to
in
the
school.
SB3.
The SV3,
Okay.
that's the
She
starter.
still holds me down.
Look, that's gonna become the travel board in a second.
Right.
Um, but I was also going to Illinois Media School at the time, who offered me a $2,000 grant. So I used that to get my MacBook, and honestly, it's been up from there. Like,
And how many years ago was that?
this was 2021, so I've been
Oh,
officially DJing.
wow.
Yeah, I've officially been DJing for a year and a half now. It'll be 2 years in December. So
Okay,
little
fun.
baby sigh.
Yes. Okay. So that's, yeah, what have you learned in this year and a half journey?
How
Take your
do
time.
I?
Take your time.
I was about to say, how do I sum all of that up? Um, the most important thing I would say that I've learned is community, and recognizing how important having a stable, welcoming, um, supportive, and overall empowering community is, because here in Indianapolis, there is it's a lot of separation and a
Mm,
lot of isolation and just competition. And being that I started in Chicago, a lot of my community is in Chicago. So the community that I've built there and everything like that, it's very much like home. It's like a tribe. It's welcoming. That feeling doesn't necessarily translate here well.
mm,
And I think that's oftentimes why I feel so isolated here, and why I feel so like a fish out of water, if you will.
mm, mhm.
Um, so that was probably one of the biggest lessons that I learned. The second lesson: always keep your flash drive on you, okay? Because you never know. You never know.
Oh, who's gonna be able
Um,
to hop on the
that, and then the third one, the third one I would say is your attitude determines where you go.
mm,
So there were a lot of instances that I had, especially in the beginning of this, because I'm thinking like, I'm the daughter of two well-respected DJs, like, I could do this, blah 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 blah, and
right.
I'm trying to insert myself into spaces that I don't think universally I was able and ready to be in. And I
Mm,
kept getting a lot of pushback from that. So instead of taking that and using that as, fuel for anger and like justifying, I should be doing this, blah, 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 it's like, okay, you can be that way and ruin your potential future opportunities. Or you can take that as a moment to sit with yourself and say, okay, what do you need to do to get into those places where you don't feel like you have to insert, where you're just welcomed instead of forcing yourself in? So a lot of attitude adjustment, a lot of um, a lot of not underestimating myself, because I am a lot better than I think I am.
Mm. That
And I can
imposter
say that
syndrome is so
I,
real.
I can say that with confidence. I am better than I think I am. And it's not a way of saying that arrogantly or boastfully, but it's like I've been around this literally all my life. I'm sitting in my dad's studio right now.
Right. And I see the
So
setup. I see the setup. It's
yeah,
legit.
so it's not like any of this is unfamiliar to me, but those three things I would say are are or have been the biggest lessons that I've learned, especially that last one, because your attitude will
Mhm.
make or break your opportunities for real.
Absolutely. I mean, people at the end of the day, all of this is relationships, kind of like what you said too about the community. Like we are in relationship with people, and your attitude does impact someone's willingness to want to work with you again, or however that may be. I mean, it's kind of like when you go to like a restaurant, and even if the food sucks, like if the customer service is amazing, you're like, I'm coming back. Like this
You're
place is
like, y'all could put a little bit of seasoning on
right.
this,
Like just give me some salt and hot sauce. It's all
and
good.
I'll be cool. But the
Right.
customer service was
But
great.
like bad service will never make up for really good food, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I very much feel that with DJing. I've heard people say like your biggest thing is people love working with you. And I pride myself in that. You're right. Like it is an attitude, being able to, yeah, not insert myself in spaces, but be welcomed in spaces and not feeling this pressure to like prove myself. Like, oh, I'm
That
here and I
that
need to like prove my no, I'm here because I'm just gonna have fun and I want us all to have fun.
that and I feel like I learned that lesson early enough in my career to where it wouldn't impact me or negatively affect me later on down the line. Like even meeting people like you, where I'm like, dang, like this person has done really, really cool events and stuff like that. But I don't, even meeting you in person, I was like, her energy is so chill. Like, this is like, I see
We're
why
real ass
people
people
want to
at the
work.
end of the day, no matter how many what
Right.
stages we've crossed, no matter what, like we're people.
So I feel like that was another important part. Is just like, just people want to work with you the chiller you are. Just
Yeah,
chill out. The opportunity's gonna come. The people gonna come. Just
exactly.
chill out.
Chill, relax, chill.
Relax.
I want to kind of circle back to your conversation point around community because I think community is so important. And every year, because I'm 4.5 years into DJing, and every year I say like a thank you post, and I always say I would be nowhere without my community. The people who show up, the people who book me, the DJs who support me, the people that send me tracks. We would not be where we are without community. So I want to hear about your experience kind of in the Chicago community and ways in which you think kind of expanding more on why is community so important and how has it impacted your journey as a DJ?
That honestly, if I think about it too hard, I'll get emotional. So we're gonna, but just
That's what
honestly, honestly, just the welcome that I got from Mommy Kana to Cash Era to Suki G's, like these women who didn't know me from a can of paint just took a chance on me and trusted my skill, trusted my professionalism enough to include me in things that they were doing. And these are not, these are not small names. These are not people that are just doing this shit for, shits and giggles. Like these are people who take their craft and their art and what they do very serious. So I'm very much blessed. And I say blessed because I was placed around, and the women that were placed in my life who helped me kickstart all of this, I'm thankful that I was able to start it in Chicago. And I say that because Chicago has a way of just, I don't even really know how to articulate it, but it's like we are eager to help each other. And
Mhm.
especially being a woman DJ in this industry, to have other women who love you, who support you, who empower you, who help you in the ways that I've received, there's no way that I could not, one, thank them, but two, continue to pass that knowledge on and to pass that help on. DJ Cali Mellon, Moby Thick, like you, like people who even take the time to just listen to my crazy ass ideas and want to pursue anything. I think that if I had gotten my start anywhere but Chicago, I would have had a different experience. Not to say that it would be bad, but I don't think my experience in this would be as enjoyable because I
Mm.
got my start at home. I got
Yeah.
my start at home with my hometown people. So when
Yeah.
I go to places like New York or when I'm here in Indianapolis, I keep that sense of camaraderie in my heart and in my head. Like when I go out to these places and I don't receive that type of energy, I'm like, maybe that's just Chicago for you. I don't
For
I don't
real.
know.
And I feel the same way where I'm grateful because people always ask me like, what's your experience like as a woman in the industry? And I'm grateful that the Chicago women femme queer scene in Chicago is the way it is to my experience where I got my start with Babes Only, surrounded by with only women DJs, only women curators,
Mhm.
photographers, XYZ. And it I did not feel unwelcome or like I had to, like I said earlier, prove myself in a way that maybe if I were in more of like a male space, club scene, whatever the
Mhm.
case is, I would have felt like the Chicago women DJs go hard and we love hard. Like we love each other. We just want to see
The
the
support is
support.
there. And
Yes.
it I think that speaks a lot about us as a city. That speaks to how we operate as a city, how we perceive each other because and it's not to really I don't want to downplay or you know give India a bad rep or anything like that, but when I when I have the experiences that I have in Chicago with the women DJs here versus the ones here, the experiences are very different. Very, very different.
What
Um,
what differences do you notice?
there's not a lot of camaraderie here.
Mm.
It's a lot and it seems more of like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like a what is it? Like a clique.
Mm.
It's very
Mean
cliquish.
Girls-esque.
It and it's not I don't even know if it gives like mean girls, but it definitely gives like high school clique like, oh, like you associate with that person, so I can't do that. And it's like
Interesting.
especially in the LGBTQ portion of it, because remember in Indianapolis, this is a red state, very
Right.
conservative. So the gay scene isn't that big to begin with. So I think me, my friend DJ Bay, and there are a few other like queer DJs, but none of us have come together to do anything like Shaken Soul or We Created House or Fever Dream or anything
Right.
like that. Like it's very divisive here, and I for the life of me, I cannot figure out why because the DJs here they're good. And
Yeah.
they're good in the sense like they're on turntables, like they're,
Yeah.
scratching and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know, for me it's just very confusing, but I've reached a point in my personal journey where I can accept that for what it is and only try to implement my ideas into spaces where they'll be accepted.
Mhm.
I'm not forcing myself into anything. I'm not proving myself for anything. At this point, you fuck with me or you don't.
Right. Period. I mean, period. And perhaps it's not working out because it's simply not meant to work out for you there. You make your connections and that's,
It
that's
is what it is.
it is what it is.
It is what
It
it
truly is
is.
what it is. And so you're from Chicago, and we're here to talk about the love of house. You mentioned your experience,
Yes.
being born kind of in with all these godfathers of house. I want to hear about your personal experience, maybe your earliest memory in house music, what was your first memory, house track, house event that made you go, "Oh, I like this. This is me."
Oh man. Well, obviously like growing up, that's pretty much all I heard in the house. Is just house music, no pun intended. So
House in the house, you feel me? Same. That's every Chicago. I feel like that's a lot of Chicagoan stories. My mom would play house music Sundays. We drive into school
yes,
in the morning, rush hours, house
yes.
mix. You feel me?
So that's, and I feel like that's another reason, going back to that in a second, but that's another reason why I loved that I got my start in Chicago, because this it's not a trend for us. It's a culture. And it's a culture
It's a
that you
heartbeat. It is a way of living.
damn near have to be born into to really understand like where it comes from, where like the origin of it and everything. So my earliest memory of it is my dad used to live in this one bedroom apartment, and um he had his studio set up in his room. And I remember, I to this day, if you gave me a pen and paper, I could sketch the entire setup like of his studio in that room.
Mhm.
And I remember him, there were I'm trying to remember one track that he used to play all the time. Let me see. Is there one? I know Gypsy Woman, I heard all the time, all the time. CC Peniston. So like CC Peniston, Crystal Waters, Robert Owens, Ron Trent, um, Mike Dunn, Farley, like these are all names and music that I heard all the time. Tyree Cooper, shout out to my Uncle Ty, what's up? Um, so my earliest recollection of it, honestly, in the womb, like
Yeah.
like
Yep.
if we keep it a buck, but
Even the hospital type
leaving
shit.
the hospital, like what is the baby back there doing this? And then just spending an incredulous amount of time in the studio with my dad, like reading the liner notes of his records and asking him questions, and him letting me work on the soundboard. So I was really engineering before I knew what engineering was.
Mm.
So just having like that access, that exposure, it was, honestly, it was building me for all of this. And that's why I feel like a lot of it comes as easy as it does, because I was being prepared for it subconsciously.
Oh,
So that's, man, that's, I don't even know what other genre of music I heard before. Like obviously there was like R&B and stuff, all of the other genres, but
but a house was always
house music, that's all I've ever really known, for real,
And
for
so when
real.
you started DJing, what was that experience like now that you are the person in control of the turntables, the decks, and it's you picking what house tracks you want to play? How has that changed or shaped your relationship to house music?
If anything, it's made me fall in love with it even more, because now I have a better understanding of how to manipulate sounds. I have a better idea of how to invoke feeling and put that and translate that into a music, whether it's dropping the lows and the mids and the highs, or using the stem feature in Serato and taking out certain parts of it, but just
Oh, that STEM
understanding.
feature is so fun.
World.
So fun.
So being able to being able to manipulate it in a way where I can feel it now. So when my dad is playing, or when I'm hearing other people play, like my dad and I ironically had this talk maybe like a few months ago, and he was asking me essentially the same question. And the best way to explain it now is that like I can put how I feel into the song now. So if I want to take it at a certain point, and like if you ever like have caught me DJing and I'm in my groove, you'll see me and I'm
Oh yeah,
like
I
I'm
was right next to you at Penny Whistle. Like, Like
I was
getting, and you did not notice I was there for like a good 30 seconds. You were so locked in.
because when I feel it.
You're
And then
in
I saw
it.
you and I was like,
No,
ah!
it was when you saw it, I was like, yeah, no, she doing her thing. She doing her thing.
So that, I mean, that in itself, like being able to tweak and manipulate the music in a way where I feel it and it's coming from my heart and my solar plexus, that that to me in itself, that's gratifying enough. Like the money is awesome. I love it, but this is something that I would absolutely do for free if I could.
Yep.
Absolutely. 100%.
For the love, purely off the love.
Purely off, like it's like a I love house music. Like
No, that's really how it be though. That is truly, you hear that four on the floor, you hear the vocals come in, and it's just like,
you're like, I don't know what to do. What's taking over
it's like
my
I don't
body?
run out, I do not run out of energy when house music is playing. It does not matter how tired I am. It doesn't matter how much sleep I got. It doesn't
I,
matter if I just DJ'd 6 hours and like as soon as I hear house music, I'm up. I'm up. It's up.
I'm thinking about this one time. I'm thinking about this one time I was in I think I was in Chicago and I was coming back from oh, what event was that? I think it was We Created House and
Okay.
we didn't end that late, but I
Okay. Of
was tired and I knew I was tired and I was
course.
like, "Oh my god." But I heard I'll Be Your Friend by Robert Owens and I was
Classic. He was like, oh, what's coming over me?
half asleep. Yeah, yeah. Here I am.
Truly half sleep, off the, road trip, like tired. They don't mind.
Jet lag and everything and I'm still but I'm telling people like that's what house is supposed to do. And I'm like, Chicago is goated everywhere because
Mm-hmm.
we created to me the happiest music possible.
Yep.
We created you can't be mad, you can't be angry and listen to house music.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how crazy that sounds?
Yeah. 1 second. My cat's tweaking. Hold on. To record. We back before my cat rudely interrupted us. And then Zoom, technological things. Anyway, I want to hear about some of your inspirations, whether it be, you know, popular DJs or people we've never heard of. Who are some producers, house producers specifically, or house DJs that inspire you on your DJ journey?
I would say definitely the women that I've encountered in Chicago. So you, Mami Kana, Cash Era,
Mhm.
Suki, Moby, Callie, um, who else can I think of off the top of my head? I'm trying to think. I'm trying not to leave anybody out here. Um,
Okay.
you charge it to my head, not my heart. But just
Okay, I like that.
being around you guys is very inspirational. Seeing the things that you guys are able to do with house music as the base of everything. Being able to experience that, the house DJs that I've met in New York while I was there. Can't remember a lot of their names because we did not exchange info, and
It really do be like that in this nightlife
I'm
environment.
like, dang, I
I
talk to
know
people
people, but I might not remember their name. I might just know their DJ name, or you know what I mean.
like
If you show me their Instagram, I'd be like them.
them. I know them. So not well outside of the house genre. So Boston Cherry, um, DJ Kai, and these are all New York based ones that I've met. Um, Producers, um, honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. Chloe Bailey, when I tell you that girl gets into her production bag,
Okay, yeah. I love seeing women in their production bag. I don't care what you're producing. To see a woman in their production bag is like, yes, go
it's
off.
something about it. I don't know. Something about it is
It's a certain
honestly to
je
me
ne
is
sais quoi.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
how you do that shorty, like um, so just
I'm
I draw a lot
screaming.
of inspiration, not on a house tip, but I draw a lot of inspiration from Tyler the Creator. And I was really just tweeting about this like 2 days ago. Um, but he's a huge inspiration to me, not only musically, but just lifestyle in general, because he does a lot of what he wants to do.
Mm.
um and that to me is ultimate happiness, is being able to live your life doing exactly what it is you want to do and being compensated for it in whatever way you want. um
Especially
House
as an
DJs,
artist, you know?
yeah,
That's how I feel about Rihanna. Like, she had her people be forgetting that Rihanna was a whole, like, pop star for a good 5 some years, and then was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do makeup, I'm gonna do clothing, I'm gonna do underwear, I'm gonna, like, dip off
and
the
guess what, both of them are Pisces. So
Oh,
and
period.
I even made the comparison. I was like, honestly, Tyler and Rihanna are each other's counterparts. Like they're the
I never
male and
thought of that.
female. Look at it. Like if you look at the list of things that Rihanna has done and look at the things that Tyler has done, she's had her own shoes with Puma. She
Uh-huh,
did the
uh-huh.
whole. She had Fenty, the clothing line. He has Golf LaFleur. He has his own shoes. Like when you line them up together, they pretty much neck and neck with that. So that's how I view my my idea of success, is being able to do what I want. It's like it's not necessarily the monetary or the materialistic aspect of it, but just being able to wake up and say, I want to go create an ice cream today, and
Yeah,
being able to execute that shit. So, salud.
thank you.
Um, so as far as like inspiration, honestly, I try to draw inspiration from everything that I see, even if it's something triggering. So it's like, yeah, that triggered me, but how can I use that feeling or whatever it created
That
to
raw
inspire
emotion.
me to do, yeah, to do something different, or to create something different, or to even think about something differently. Like going back to me, um, feeling like I was inserting myself into places. Like Cash Era is one of my biggest influences, because that's somebody that's been in the game for like 10 years, 10 years deep. And seeing where she is now and seeing like the festivals that she's doing and stuff like that, I'm like,
I love Cash. Ever since I started my career, she's always been so supportive. To this day, I'll get bookings that are like, "Cashier recommended you," and I'm just
mm-hmm.
she is truly someone who is so supportive and down for the people, the
Yes,
women, femme, queer DJs. She is so and doesn't stop, you know, like doesn't just truly is always hustling, always working on another
right,
project, working on something different. It's just she is so inspiring.
very.
I'm giving her her flowers right here, right now.
Get Cash, you getting your flowers, down to even on the production side, Mommy Kana, like,
Right.
and I don't know if a lot of people know that she produces and engineers, and I'm like, bro, that's exactly what I want to do. Like, you're doing, like, you are a DJ, producer, engineer, and that's so being able to call these people friends, to be able to call these people and say, hey, I need advice or something, being booked by them, like,
Yeah.
again, I'm so glad that I got my start where I did, because I feel like if I got it anywhere else, I would not be having the experience that I'm currently having.
Absolutely.
So,
And I think it speaks volumes to you as well, and your skill and your talent and what you bring, because if I feel like we're all mirrors to each other, and if you feel inspired by these people, they see something in you that's also inspiring, you know, that the beauty you see in them is reciprocated right back.
and that, like, see, this was gonna make me get emotional, because like,
Honey.
again, in this industry, even with me not having been in it for that long, just being able to experience it and see the not so great parts of it, and then being able to experience the phenomenal parts of it, it's like people don't understand. Like, the first thing I said when we first started was how important community is, because the stronger your community is, the better you are all the way around. You're more professional, you're more polished, you have a better attitude, you have more confidence. Like all of these things matter. And I think that's what indie kind of lacks sometimes. So I try my best to implement my Chicago um my Chicago mindset and say we're going to work together. I
Right.
don't care who's I don't care who's more known. I don't care who is more
Who
popular. I
doesn't
don't
work
care.
with who anymore because of whatever happened 15
We
years
not
ago.
we not doing that, bro. You either want to be here and you want to be a part of this community and you want to help build it and expand it, or you step to the side. But we don't have time nor the space because Indianapolis is a super small city. We
Yeah.
don't have the time nor the space to be going against each other's heads like this and not collaborating. Like there's nothing here that I can think of outside of maybe like one or two events that's happening like Fever Dream, or that's happening like Gyrate, or that's happening like Shake and Soul, where it's an all female lineup.
Right.
So that to me, that speaks volumes. And I don't know if it's something that I need to be more um vocal about or what have you, but I made a promise to myself after the experiences that I had to only work with people who have the same mindset as me. I don't want to have to pull or convince or, manipulate people into wanting to work together. That doesn't feel authentic
Yeah.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I I have no problem with coming back home to do things.
Absolutely. Sometimes I
Um,
feel like it comes down to, for me at least, people in other places, even sometimes here in the city, have this really strange like capitalist competition mindset that's very like, oh, there's another like Latina DJ in the scene, like that's a threat versus like, oh, we can link and build together. And
and that's what
I truly believe that there
bro.
is so much money circulating in this worldwide system that we are not, I am not taking away from you. We could actually probably make double the profits if we work together. There is enough to go around for everybody.
And that's the craziest thing. And I shit you not. I had this epiphany months ago, but so many people who are natives to Indianapolis in random conversation have come forward and vented to me about their experience here and how they feel like it's very gate kept. A lot of things are very gate kept here. Um, a lot of people are not willing to share resources. When the resources come, everybody's like scavenging for them and like, stuff like that. And it's like if we moved out of the mindset of I need this, what, I can only have this and this is for me, and moved more into a how can this help us? How
Mhm.
can we create a bigger name for the DJ scene in Indianapolis? Instead of having that mindset, people are just so quick to just it's honestly really sad. It's honestly really really sad because like I said before, there's a lot of talent here.
Mhm.
So it's disheartening to see how many people have that mindset, but it gets to a certain point where you're like, bro, I can't help you. Like that's how you see it. I come from a city where I know that resources are plentiful. I
Mhm.
know that just because you're doing something doesn't mean that I can't do it, or just because you're
Right.
getting spotlight doesn't mean that I don't have my own light. Like I'm a shine regardless. So
Period.
it's indie. I tell people all the time, if you haven't been, I would come just to experience the energy. But other than that, you're not missing much.
Once. And I really liked it. And low key, I really fuck with people who come out of Indianapolis. Like people who are like from there, born there, they tend to be like, as people, cool, chill, talented. You're so right about that. So
Talented.
talented. DJ styles that are very similar to Chicago, and the blending and the all of that. It's so comparable. It feels like a sister city creatively. But you know, that's me as a visitor, as an outsider, someone who's not trying to integrate into that market. And I think it speaks volume that the people I've met from Indianapolis are here in Chicago, and come here for whatever the case is, and kind of stay here and build their career here. And it is disappointing because I'm like, yeah, I can name 5 people who I've met across the past few months that I'm like, y'all are from Indianapolis and you're cool, you're talented.
And it doesn't speak to the people here, because the people, most of them migrate because of the mindset of majority of the people here.
Right.
You'll meet those few people, or you'll meet those people few in between, who are, dang, like, you're from Indianapolis, like, what? And you would expect that with them being just literally a city over, that we would have similar mindsets. But you know, like I said, I don't want to talk bad about Indianapolis, because there is an incredible amount of talent here. I just wish that the mindset was different, because if it were,
Camaraderie, the mindset, the collaboration.
it would look a lot different. And I've seen it. I've seen what happens when people come together, but it's like, it needs to be more frequent.
Yeah.
That needs to happen more frequently. The competition, whether it's um advertent or inadvertent, like, it just needs to stop. Like, there's no reason to keep beating on your chest saying, like, I'm the best, I'm the best. Like, bro, nobody cares. Just do what you do. Do what you do and be the best at what you do.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't have to be better than anybody.
Hmm.
Just do what you do. So, you know, I plan on coming back home.
Well, you
So,
know, I'm glad you said that, because I was actually going to lead me to my next question of what future plans do you see for yourself as DJ, you know, as a DJ creatively, but also personally. Where do you hope to see your career going in the next few years, few months, few years?
so I don't know if a lot of people really know, but DJing is actually like secondary for me.
Okay.
It's just something that I happen to be good at and that I enjoy doing. But my ultimate dream is to be an engineer. Um,
I didn't
one
know
of my
that. Okay, where my engineers
Yes,
at? Y'all better holla at Psylo Soundz.
yes. Let me mix down your tracks for you. Let me
Found
make them
some out
sound
real
good.
quick.
Let me make them sound good, and, like, you know. So my ultimate dream is to mix and master a song for Tyler the Creator, um, to do one for Mariah Carey and for Snow Allegra. If I work those with those three people, I'm
Gold,
good.
you're set.
I'm good. Um, so I'm contemplating moving, um, moving either between New York and Chicago, just one of the cities, either one I would be 1000% with. But by 2025, which is 2 years away, which is so crazy to
Damn,
think,
we're like
like
a year and a half.
a year and a half. I'm trying to be overseas. So
Oh,
my dream is to DJ at, um, I think it's called the, I don't want to mispronounce it, but it's HOR, in the bathroom in
oh, the
Germany.
bathroom.
Yes,
Yes.
that is my dream set location. Like, I do that
That's in
as a
Germany,
DJ.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, German. Hey, I've never been. I want to go to Europe so bad, London, Germany, because
Bro.
they get down to the house, the
Yes.
techno. They get freaky.
And they love it. My parents go over there every year for the Amsterdam music conference. I think that's what it's called,
Okay.
whatever. Um, but they go every year, and I said that either this year or next year, I'm going to be over in Amsterdam DJing at a
Yeah.
club over there, whether it's a small venue, a big venue, whatever. I that is it. And I said, the moment I get overseas, I'm not coming back. Y'all can ship my shit to me. I'm not coming back. And I mean, like, everyone, see, I get that same reaction from everybody. Everybody's like, aha, no, I'm serious.
No, I'm with you. I'm laughing because I could envision you like at whatever's their like equivalent to Target or Walmart. Like, I just need some deodorant and
Bro,
some
I'm
fresh
good.
teas. Y'all can ship the rest.
I'm good. I swear I'm good. The moment I step foot overseas, it's
It's over.
over. I'm not coming back. I'm not.
Period.
So that's those
I think
are
every DJ needs that. I mean, it's also my plan to move out of Chicago at some point. I don't know if it's permanent, but it is my plan because, I think there's so much world to experience, so many people to meet, so much music to hear. I think that I challenge everyone to move out of their hometown at some point for even if it's a little bit.
3 months. 3 months, go live somewhere else and experience
Yes.
the atmosphere of somewhere else so that you one learn to appreciate where you came from more, but you also appreciate where you go and how people operate and how people think and how people move and hear music there, because the way that we listen to it where we are isn't, and I could tell you from footage, ain't how they listen to it overseas. Like
Yeah.
overseas they're banging their heads against the speakers, like they're humping the speakers, like
They're getting freaky and I love.
getting freaky.
I will say the only place I've been to that felt comparable to like something I'd experienced overseas was, of course, New York, but
Yep.
also like Detroit. Like Detroit loves them
Detroit.
some techno. Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, that's
I
where I was
was in Detroit for
born.
Movement Fest. Honey, honey.
Wait,
It
was DJ Minx there?
maybe
I think DJ Minx was there.
it was just like the DJs, every single DJ, no matter where they were from, killing it, crushing it. Everyone dancing in the street. It felt like very like lawless for a second. Like it was like like laws were just like turned off for the weekend. Everyone just danced till noon the next day. Like those were
Yes.
the. And as being in Chicago, sometimes I do feel very restricted in how we can party because
Mm-hmm.
we have these anti-rave ordinances. We have these very strict liquor laws. There's very strict rules and regulations. It's just we're such a like a uptight, button up, clutch your pearls city when it comes to
Yeah.
life. And I'm like in other places like Germany, they partying till their clubs are legally open till 7 a.m.
In
Legally
the morning, like
7 a.m.
you leaving the club when the sun is in the sky,
That's a
bro.
vibe to me. That is a vibe.
Hell, even when I went to Jamaica, like I shit you not, we left the club at 4. We were back up at 9 at a brunch.
Period.
And I'm like, what is life right
Yep.
now? Great.
So I fully support this migration, this move for you. I can't wait to post your flyer, like meet me in Amsterdam, meet me in Denmark, meet me in Ibiza. Gone. I am excited for the day that happens.
Now, don't be surprised if you get an invitation, because I know that they love house over there.
I'm a Sagittarius. All I need is an invitation. I love it. It is intoxicating the feeling of walking off a plane and I'm somewhere new. I'm just like how you said with the house music, we go.
New travel.
So I
Yes.
truly love that for you. Okay, so moving, what about, while you're here, what kind of events do you see yourself putting together, throwing?
So one of the biggest ones, which I had spoken to you about, which we won't speak on it too much, but let's just say that there will be an Indianapolis meets Chicago collaboration around, I don't know, May of next year. When they're doing a little vroom vroom. Um,
Okay.
so that's
It's gonna be a little
definitely
rave moment happening
just
potentially.
just a little
Just
bit, just
telling
a little
everyone to
bit.
get themselves ready, get their sleep.
Right. Get your
No.
little checkered flags and meet us at the rave. So that's definitely, I have not stopped thinking about it since we talked about
Oh,
it.
same. Honestly, when I was prepping for this like interview or this chat, I was like, oh, should I bring it up? And I was like, no, we
No,
gotta
I
that.
don't, because I want to breathe life into it, but I want us to,
Oh, it's gonna happen. I let you know it's gonna happen.
it's
But
gonna happen.
and
So
when that
so
announcement,
y'all know, when y'all
it's
see this
the
happen, we
streets
already
are gonna be
spoke it.
shook. From
we already
Chicago to
spoke.
Indy, like the streets are gonna be shook. But
So,
so okay.
definitely
So
excited
it
about.
sounds like you have some collaborations you want to do, like bring.
Yes.
That's kind of what we talked about, when we were in New York, which is crazy where I met you. Like,
Right.
love that for us. But talking about, bringing more of that Chicago to Indianapolis and vice versa, you coming to Chicago and just creating that kind of network of love.
Yeah, and I feel like, and I was speaking to, so one of the DJs that I really really love and admire here in Indianapolis, Littletown, DJ Littletown, um, who created Indie.fm, which is a women led DJ collaborative,
That's so
and yeah, it's, and she has these installments at this place here called Sundry and Vice, and she invites different DJs of different calibers. Like no matter what type of style you play, no matter what music you play, you are invited to Indie.fm. So been teaming up with her to try to get some Chicago DJs to come to Indianapolis, and then
let
talk
me
about
know. I would
bringing.
love to do something like that.
Yes, and then talk about bringing Indie.fm to Chicago so that we can, do that, because through my journey, even though I've only been doing this for like a year and a half, I've met so many, so many women DJs from North Carolina to Detroit, Atlanta, New York, Chicago, Indianapolis, Michigan, Arizona, LA. Like, I know somebody damn near everywhere now.
Right.
So the whole point is to get Indie.fm to to go into these other places, or bring those DJs to Indianapolis, so that the women DJ scene here could be built up in
Mhm.
a more polished way. So that's another collaborative that I'm looking at. I want to host a Tyler and Friends night somewhere, Tyler the Creator and Friends, where I just run nothing but Tyler the Creator all night.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Love that. Of
so it's a bunch of different ideas that I have. I have them all written down. So to me, that's a part of manifesting.
course.
Um, so yeah, but I would say within like the next year or so, y'all gonna see me everywhere, because I'm gonna be like,
I
yo,
love
listen
it.
this,
I can't wait to
listen
see your
that.
face on big screens. Okay. Well,
I was
where
talking
can
about
we
Times Square.
okay. Where can we follow, support you? I know you're taking a bit of a social media break, so um let us
Indeed.
know where we can follow you, keep up with you, support your music, anything like that.
So, I am mostly active on Instagram. I will be using this social media break to build my content for TikTok.
Oh,
So you'll start to see me a little bit more on there. I do have a TikTok. I just don't post on there a lot because it's just another social media app, and I'm like,
same.
so you can find me Psylo Soundz with the Z on all of those, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Um, if you hit the link in my Instagram bio, that takes you to all of my mixes. That takes you to an article that I did with Voyage Ohio, where you can kind of get to know me a little bit more. I did a podcast. Um, yeah, so that link tree, there's a tip jar there if y'all want to leave me a little tip.
Silo,
Um,
SYLOSOUNDZ, right? Just like on your shirt.
mhm.
On on
Yes, just
on
like on the shirt, you
So
feel
follow
me?
that link, send some tips, send some love.
Send some love. I have a hotline. I do have Silo
That's
Sounds
so
Radio.
cool.
Yeah, so Psylo Sounds Radio, which or not debuts, it premieres every Monday at 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I have a hotline, an official hotline that you can use to either text me your song request. You can text me topic requests if you want to hear like a certain person come on there, if you want a guest on
Oh,
there. So yeah, that's 515-999-0056. Just text that line. I am the one responding.
wow.
Um, so it's literally like you're having a text conversation with me. So I definitely encourage people to utilize that. Since Psylo Sounds Radio is a radio station curated for you by you. So the more that people interact with it, the more songs that I'm sent, the more topics that I'm sent, that radio station becomes more curated. So that's probably my best and most proud thing that I have right now is
Okay,
the Psylo
say
radio.
less. So everyone, you know where you see where to follow, support. I can't wait till you're back in Chicago. It was so much fun dancing with you this past weekend. We are gonna get you back. Mark my
Take
words.
me.
We're gonna
Tell
have
whoever it needs to be said to, like, hey, Silo needs to come back home.
Oh yeah. Oh, I already got you. I got you. We're planting the seed,
Please.
getting your name out there. But thank you so much. This was such a good conversation.
This was, I feel so
I was
happy.
over here good. I feel happy. I feel re-energized. I feel like I know you a little bit better. This was so much fun. I started this, when we were before we started recording. I was like, yeah, it'll be like 15 minutes. Here we are, like an hour later.
Our
But that's how you know we was in it, locked in.
I told you I'm a chatty patty girl. I could talk
And
today.
same, like say I have no self-control. I will keep talking.
But now this means that you got to come on my radio
Yes,
show.
you send me those
So
details. We're gonna have a vintage house show, DJ Momami, Psylo Soundz collab. I will be on there. I will go to Indianapolis if that's what it means.
please, if y'all, I'm gonna say this, if y'all want to come visit me,
Oh, I
please come
do.
visit
You're
me.
on my list of I have lists of people. I have family in Atlanta, I got family in New York, and now I got family in Indianapolis.
Let's go.
So
Let's go. We
I'm
just
visiting.
show you how to get, or how you would. That's the lingo here. We'll show you how you would.
Show you how you would.
How you what? How you what?
Show you how you what?
How you would.
How
Yup.
you what? Okay, show you how you what? Show me how I what?
How you would.
Well, you have a lovely, lovely rest of your day.
You too.
Such a good
Thank you so
conversation.
much. Thank you so much for
Of course.
having me. This was great. Thank you.